Hello everyone, my name is Taylor and I'm from the tradinganalyst.com, and I got a lot of chart requests here, and I'm going to try to cover as many of the stocks that were requested as possible. And the idea here is for you to hopefully learn something from the analysis here that I'm going to be doing of these charts. And hopefully, if you don't have any experience with technical analysis, then this will be a good intro of how you can use it successfully to make money in the market. So let's take a look at the list here that we got. AMD is the first one that was requested. Got several requests for that. So AMD, this is the one that we're going to be covering here first. So as you can see here, we had this downtrend line that was keeping AMD in check for quite a while. There was that rejection here in February, again here in March, again here in April, almost hit it right here in May, right here June, again in June. Finally we broke over it, and then look at where we bounced from. Right there is that retest of that broken downtrend line, as well as this uptrend line. You can see it's really respecting that angle right here. Okay, so there's that angle for AMD. So right now, if you're bullish on AMD, you want to see it hold these trend lines. If it breaks below $12, more than likely we're going to head back lower. So really want to be following that trend line here in the near term. We've got resistance up here at about $14.50 to $15. You can see it ran into it several times right here for a few months. So that's the near-term resistance. We got another rejection at that level right there as well. So definitely pay attention to that level above us. So resistance up here, support down here. All right, so the next one we're going to take a look at is NVDA. So NVDA, you can see overall this is a very, very bullish chart. All right, I believe this is at all-time highs. Let me go to the monthly chart. Yeah, so we're at all-time highs. Being at all-time highs here for a stock is not a bearish characteristic. Can it head lower from here? It can definitely head lower. I'm not saying that it will, but overall, this is a very bullish chart. So we don't know anything more than that. Right now, I see a couple of things. I see the main resistance up here near about 160, 161. You can see we knocked our head into it several times here. And this is a big bearish engulfing candle right here on huge volume. So that's not exactly the kind of action that you want to see near these all-time highs. And you can see, I'm scrolling back here to see if I can see any other volume recently. So this is the highest volume day, that day right here that I pointed out, in the last about 2 years, maybe over 2 years. But my daily chart doesn't go back more than 2 years. So we've got this huge bearish engulfing candle on really heavy volume. So that is, to me, kind of a concern. If we break over these highs, then we can pretty much disregard this candle. But right now, this is a big sign to me. All that volume, biggest volume that we've seen in a couple years. So another thing is we broke this little mini trend line. Again, that's not super significant. Definitely this candle right here with that huge volume is more significant. And then we've got a little downtrend line right here. You can clearly see it respecting that angle. Started here at the highs, and then several candles getting rejected at that angle. So we've got some levels here to play with. Might be a good short, to be honest with you, with that huge volume up here to me, that's telling. It's very telling. You know, you want to see breakouts on volume. Look at this candle right here. This candle right here was on huge volume. This is big volume. And then look at how much higher we went after that. So we went, what is that, $40 higher after this bigger volume candle. And then we had this day right here with double that volume up here. So definitely expect to see some weakness here on NVDA based off of that volume alone. But just keep in mind, overall this chart is still bullish, and we have support down here at about 120, 119. See his previous resistance there, broke over it here. So right around 120 is going to be that major support that you want to look for on NVDA. Next one we're looking at is, so a lot of people wanted to see Intel being added to that group, so we'll add it and we'll take a look at Intel. So Intel, this is one that I follow, and I want to cover the weekly time frame here on Intel. And you can see here on Intel, we broke this trend line right there. There's a nice little uptrend line. You can see started in 2015, got a bounce here, there, right here, grinded up against it, and we broke that trend line. Not only did we break that trend line, but we had the support right there, broke that support. And when you see a stock trading sideways for a long time, it's building up energy for a move. The big boys, big funds, people that know a lot more about stocks and their fundamentals than we do, are either buying or selling in here. I know that's vague, but you know, we don't know what they know. So when a stock is trading sideways right here, the big boys are buying and selling, and once it moves out of that range, like we did here on Intel, they've done their buying and selling. So what that does is, if they sold here, like what I think that they did, based off of this pattern that we've seen many times before, then that means that they're not going to be buying for a while. They're not going to be supporting that stock. So the big boys are already out, and this move can produce a pretty swift move to the downward direction when you get a sideways trading like that. So same thing kind of here. We traded sideways here, and you saw a pretty big move up. Another thing I want to point out too is we have Intel, which is a semiconductor stock, and all the other semiconductors broke out to new all-time highs and just blasted off. But if you see Intel, it didn't even break the all-time highs. These 2015, 2014 resistance got rejected at several times. So if the market sees any kind of weakness, what stock do you think is going to get hit? Do you think it's going to be a stock that, or it's going to get hit the most? Do you think it's going to be a stock like NVDA that we saw hit all-time highs just recently? Yeah, NVDA is going to get hit, but Intel right here it showed that it wasn't able to break out with the rest of that sector. So definitely showing some weakness here on a relative basis, and on just looking at Intel on its own. So definitely think that Intel is going to be headed lower on the daily chart. It does look like we can get a bounce here in the short term, back up to maybe $35, but I think that's a sell level based off of what I've been talking about, $35 to $36. I think if it does head up there, I do think it'll get rejected, and that we'll end up breaking these lows and head up much lower. All right, so that's it on Intel. The next one we're going to cover is GE. I just despise charting GE. Just looking at it really quick. I'm not really going to cover it, but it's just very choppy. It just trades sideways for a long time, and to me, the technicals aren't as reliable as some of the others. It just doesn't move that great. So I don't really like to trade it. I don't really like to chart it. So that's what I got on GE. Tesla is the next one we're going to cover. So Tesla, this is, another one that, I get a lot of, every time I post here, everybody always asks me, and, it's weird that you only look at charts and not fundamentals. Well, if you only look at fundamentals, you got everybody that's bearish on Tesla missing out on this huge move, almost 100% move from, 180 all the way up to, what do we hit? Almost $400. That's a 100% move there on $180 stock. I mean, that's a huge move, and we charted this back when it broke over this trend line, ended up breaking higher. We called for higher prices right here. Everyone called us crazy. We weren't the only ones. Not saying that we're the only ones that called for higher prices on Tesla, but everyone called us crazy, and you get a lot of people calling you crazy the whole time. So overall, just getting back to Tesla here, we'll cover the weekly chart because I really think this is the telling chart. So these are the previous all-time highs. You can see 2014 getting rejected there. Again here. Again here. Almost there. Almost here. 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 Finally, we broke over this level. So you better believe that this is going to act as a level of support down at 280. 280 is that level. We broke out to new all-time highs, and we've got a lot of support below us. So I do think that Tesla is going to get a bounce around 280 against those previous all-time highs. So as far as the short-term levels here, I haven't seen any kind of reversal signal on Tesla just yet. I want to see a washout low. We haven't really gotten a washout low and then a quick reversal. We got a washout low, but then this is just an inside day. So we could bounce from here, but just as far as my style, I want to see something different. I don't think that Tesla has found a true bottom just yet. So that's my opinion on Tesla. Let's see. Plug, I'm not going to cover that for obvious reasons. Walmart, we can look at. Walmart, as you can see, came down here. It dropped here in response to the news of Amazon buying, what did they buy? Whole Foods. They bought Whole Foods. So kind of a silly drop, in my opinion, but look at where we bounced, right at this support. It was previous resistance here. And I'm not just drawing this random line here, right? And just hindsight looking at that. This line was already drawn there before it dropped. And it's because of this sideways trading right here that I talk about all the time. All the time. Sideways trading, you can see for about a month and a half, we traded sideways right into that resistance level right there. So that became a bigger level of support. An even bigger level of support is just below that, around $72. So $72, I think, if we head down there, can definitely get a bounce. It's previous resistance right there, here, here, here. Finally, we broke over it. We haven't tested it just yet. So more than likely, if we head lower, down to 72, that's a buy zone on Walmart. Let's see, the next one we're going to cover is ATVI. Actually, I just really quick cover TNK. So TNK, this is just a simple, easy downtrend for you. I'm going to look at the weekly chart. Yeah, so we're at all-time lows. Well, let me look at the monthly chart just in case. Okay, yeah, so we're at all-time lows here. This is just a very, very bearish chart here. So it's all you really need to know. You can see it's really respecting that angle. Getting rejected there, there, here, really tried to break over it, couldn't do it. Rejection there, rejection there. So really this is just a good short. And then, excuse me, if it breaks over that trend line, then we can see some higher prices. But right now, this is a crap stock. That's all I can say about it. We get paid by the movement of the price, not by fundamentals that we think might be might exist that should move the stock higher. So right now, price is showing us that this is a crap stock, and if that changes and we actually break over this downtrend line, then we can start changing our opinion. But right now, just a crap stock and a good downtrend to short into. Next one we'll be covering is ATVI, and we'll go to ATVI. And I'm going to cover the near-term levels here. This looks very similar to most of the technology sector and the Qs and the NASDAQ. And you can clearly see it reacting to this $56 level here, here, right here, and right here. And that's where we got a bounce off of this level. To me, you know, it looks like we're going to get a bounce from here. We broke this little downtrend right there, broke the near-term highs. So in my opinion, in the short term, most likely we're going to retrace this move in the short term down to that $57 level. If we get a touch of 57, it's probably a buy zone, and we can expect some higher prices in the near term. A couple things I want to point out here is right here we had big volume right here, but this is buying volume. We got a gap down, but then a hammer. All right, that's a lot of buying right there, a lot of volume. So just kind of comparing this to the NVDA action that we saw earlier in this video. The next one we're going to cover is let's see. TVIA, I'll cover that one. So TVIA, this is another one that is just crap stock in a downtrend. You can see it's just really respecting that angle right there, here. Look at that, about 2 months it just grinded against that downtrend line and then got rejected. So it really needs to do some work to prove itself that it's worthy of getting any kind of a bounce. So I don't know anything fundamentally about this stock, but what was the question? They have some really neat tech. I'm hoping it turns things around. I don't know if this is new tech or that it's just developed now, that it just released in a press release now. But if that tech has been here this whole time, then obviously it's not that neat, because if it was, the stock price would reflect it. And it doesn't really matter if that tech is neat or if it's not neat. What matters is the movement of the price. And right now, price is showing us that this stock is not one to own from just a long-term perspective. If we somehow get some kind of bounce up here, you know, don't shoot me. But overall, we've got just a downtrend, and this is a bearish stock. The next one we're going to be covering is, let's see here. I'll cover Costco. I'll do. So Costco. Big breakdown here on Costco. So this was in reaction to Whole Foods buying it out. Again, I personally thought we would get a bounce. This is actually one that I traded and alerted to our members, and this was right here. We got long on this day. It was right around 159 we got long, and then we ended up getting stopped out on this day right here on Thursday, as we broke the lows of the previous day for, and that was about $1.14 loss on that trade. We traded the options, but so that was a very small loss compared to the potential gain. We were targeting that gap fill up there, but we didn't get a bounce, and we sold it, and it was a good thing because we dropped another almost $4 the following day. So we've got some bearish action here on Costco, and you can see this trend line that has given Costco a bounce for the last 7 years. Started here, grinded up against it for almost a few months, got a bounce here, got a bounce here, and you can see we're breaking it right there. So to me, Costco has a lot of work to do, and the near-term support is just below us around 152. So could get a short-term bounce here, but overall, to me, this is not a good-looking stock to buy at the current moment. The next one we're going to be covering is, let's see, USO. I already did a video on oil, so if you just look on my YouTube channel, you can watch that video that covers USO. MU I'll cover, and MU, you can see we have some near-term support based off of this previous resistance right there, and here you can see it turning into support right there. So I think $29 is a good bounce zone for MU. This is overall a very bullish chart. If we back it up here, very bullish chart here, and who am I to say that it's going to end anytime soon? We don't know. Trends can go on for a really long time, so not many people have been around to see the true nature of a real bull market, which is what it looks like to me, and stocks can really go on for a really long time. So I would not say this is overbought by any means, but it doesn't mean it can't head lower. Just kind of giving my thoughts on the market. We've got support at 29, and then we've got resistance at about $33. So those are the two main levels that you want to look for as support and resistance on Micron technology. Alright guys, that is going to complete the video for today. I hope you all enjoyed that. I really enjoyed discussing technical analysis with you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. You can contact me through the contact page on my website, www.thetradinganalyst.com, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you about charts or technical analysis or anything else that you want to talk about. Have a great night, and I will see you guys next time.